Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Down goes Alex Jones. That's right. The host of InfoWars has lost not one, not two, but all four of the defamation lawsuits brought against him by the parents of the children killed in Sandy Hook. Now, that proves, of course, that free speech does have consequences. If you fuck around and defame people, a lie that hurts families and causes harm, well, then you will find out. So let me give you the details. According to media, a Connecticut judge issued rulings in a fourth defamation lawsuit brought against Jones on Tuesday, following a previous ruling by Judge Maya Guerra Gamble in Austin, who found him liable for damages in 3 similar defamation lawsuits. Now, so far, we don't know what the judgments are on that, as far as how much he's going to have to pay in restitution. But the Connecticut judge found Jones guilty by default because he refused to turn over documents ordered by the court, which included financial records. So, now wait, I think there's a play here. That said, Jones and his attorney in Connecticut, Norman Pattis, had previously released a statement on the InfoWars website condemning the Texas judge's ruling, saying that it takes no account into the tens of thousands of documents produced by the defendants, the hours spent sitting for depositions, and the various sworn statements filed in these cases. We are distressed by what we regard as a blatant abuse of discretion by the trial court. We are determined to see that these cases are heard on the merits. On the merits, huh? So, look, I'm no law student. I could be off base here, and if I am, this is the internet, so I'm going to be corrected if that's the case. But I don't know if you can argue the merits of a case without giving the documentation to the court to back up your case. You can't really argue on the merits if the information isn't there. You don't provide the evidence for what you're claiming is your defense, that Jones did not defame these people, and that, oh no, all we were doing, we're just reporting on the others, on other people who were saying that it's a hoax. We weren't really saying it was a hoax. I mean, we're just reporting it, and then I got into this psychosis, and, you know, but we were just being journalists. Well, if that's the case, then couldn't you just make up anything and say, I didn't say it? No, I was just reporting it. You know, the some people say defense. This is the, by the way, this is not the first time that has been used. It's the Fox News Trump trick. People are saying, I'm just asking questions. We see people get away with that defense all the time. Tucker Carlson, for example. Tucker Carlson's been in trouble. And it's like, well, you know, I'm just asking questions. People are saying this. And then, of course, there's the other thing of, well, but I'm not actually a journalist. No reasonable person would ever take something I say seriously. No. But look, they use this defense and other weird defenses like that all the time. And that's what this is. Oh, well, some people are saying that the Sandy Hook is a hoax, and so I just have to report on this because I'm just reporting. You know, people are saying. Okay. Now, of course, they can get plausible deniability and First Amendment protections because, of course, they used careful wording. Alex Jones wasn't careful. In fact, I'm going to show you a little bit of what he said over the years when it comes to the Sandy Hook shooting.
Sandy Hook, it's got inside job written all over it. Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first. People just instinctively know that there's a lot of fraud going on. But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I mean, even I couldn't believe it. I knew they jumped on it, used the crisis, hyped it up, but then I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen. I mean, I've interviewed the cops and the people that saw the feds plant the bombs in Oklahoma City. You saw them stage Fast and Furious. Folks, they staged Aurora. They staged Sandy Hook. The evidence is just overwhelming. The Newtown kids, oh, They take them, put them in our face, tell us their names, who they were. I heard an ad this morning on the radio, Bloomberg paid for it locally, going, I dropped Billy off and watched him go around the corner. And he never came back, all because of the guns. Won't you just turn your guns in for my son? Why'd you do it to him, gun owners? Well, listen, I didn't kill your kids. The truth is they've had national polls where upwards of half of Americans don't believe Sandy Hook because they don't believe a word the mainstream media says. We've sent reporters up there, man, and that place is like Children of the Corn or something. I mean, it is frickin' weird. And then the weird videos of reported parents of kids laughing, and all of a sudden they do the hyperventilating to cry to go on TV. All I know is something's going on. And you don't like us looking at it. You don't like us questioning you.
So, yeah, that's a sampling. There is so much more. But it's funny because he gets sued and then, oh, no, what are you talking about? I didn't mean that. No. I was under psychosis. I was mentally ill. In fact, again, as I mentioned, this is from his deposition. He said, I myself have almost had like a form of psychosis back in the past where I basically thought everything was staged. Oh, the mental defense, right? Even though I've now learned a lot of times things aren't staged. So I think as a pundit, someone giving an opinion, oh, so now he's a pundit instead of a journalist. Okay. My opinions have been wrong, but they were never wrong consciously to hurt people. Jones then blamed the trauma of the media and the corporations lying so much for causing him to distrust everything. Kind of like a child whose parents lied to them over and over, he said. So long before these lawsuits, I said that in the past I thought everything was a conspiracy, and I would kind of get into that mass groupthink of the communities that were out saying that, and so now I see that it's more in the middle. So that's where I stand. Look at you, Alex Jones, enlightened centrist. Enlightened centrist. So, look, here's the thing. There isn't a middle on this. There is no middle on this. It's either 20 children were shot to death, or they weren't. There's no middle. Obviously, they were murdered. There's a centrist position here. Alex Jones, not an enlightened centrist. Understand that this guy got fat off conspiracy theory bucks, okay? And then tried to weasel his way out when he got caught. And since he doesn't have anything to back up his defense, the judge was like, well, okay, guilty. Guilty. But here's the worst part, right? So Alex Jones is going to use this, I guarantee, as evidence that some shadowy forces were trying to take him down. And his audience will believe him and will likely send him more money. Now remember, also, this is not a criminal trial. This is a civil suit. And it's going to end up with Jones paying some undetermined amount of money. I don't know how much, honestly. But, nonetheless, there is some restorative justice. But at the same time, Jones will go back to continue to peddle disinformation and conspiracies to anybody who will listen. And trust me, people will listen, especially in the right wing. They are awash with conspiracy peddlers and people who love his conspiracy theories. It is a huge, ripe environment for people like Alex Jones. So I don't think this is going to hurt him in the long run. But at least the families will get some sort of monetary compensation as a result of the terrible things that Jones has said about them. The numerous times some of these families had to move and protect themselves, beef up their security in their houses because, they would get unhinged people making threats and coming after them, members of Jones's audience. Hopefully these people will at least be able to get some time alone, out of the spotlight, not having people come after them, and will be able to grieve and help to rebuild their lives with some of Alex Jones's money. Yeah, at least there's something, right? If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.